Here we go. The fixture has just been released for 2026. Let's deep dive and analyze it. Before we do jump straight into this, there will be a video coming out in the next couple of days regarding a new website that I've been working on to help you feel more into the Magpie army. You'll be able to submit articles, submit photos, get them put on there. We'll have like fan of the month, fan of the week, all this sort of really cool things. Membership will be changing as well. All the best ways to support the channel. It's going to be really, really fun and a next step in the next iteration into Swoop Luke. But I know why you're here. Let's look into this goddamn fixture. So the fixture was released today and it's kind of like Christmas morning, right? If Christmas morning was you were waiting for something really, really good, but know that you're going to be a little bit disappointed, but you still had hopes that it would be good. And then you open up your presents and it's just a bunch of coal, a little bit of chocolates here and there, a little bit of money, maybe $5, $10, but just more coal and more coal. That's what it feels like to look at Collingwood's fixture at the moment. Now, we're going to go through the games one by one. We'll look at the Collingwood article first that you can see on the screen here, just to kind of talk about with Thursday nights and Friday night games and all that sort of jazz. So, Collingwood will open the season with 2 matches in front of a Melbourne crowd at the MCG. Incredible. We don't, while we play opening round, we don't have to travel for opening round. The only Victorian team to travel twice, so 2 years in a row for opening round. And we've paid our dues for that. We're still participating in opening round, which I still don't believe in because it should just be the Northern States. But whatever it is, we get to play. And this game that we're playing will be the earliest game that the MCG has hosted to open the season since the 2000 Olympics, because I had to get pushed forward or pushed back, however you want to sort of perceive time, to this date. So this is the earliest the AFL has started at the MCG. So privileged to be a part of that. There'll probably be 85,000, you would think, there. Now, in the first 15 rounds, because remember that in those rounds, they're the only rounds with dates. Everything else is that floating fixture that we all love. So we have got 3 Thursday and Friday night games and 6 Saturday spots. So all in all, I think that's pretty good. I think that's a good run of it. We're the primetime pies. We know that. I'm not complaining about that. That's incredible. So that's all good for me. So following the first 3 games in Melbourne, the Pies will travel to Brisbane for the Easter Thursday game. And then we go to gather round and play Fremantle. We've got the annual King's birthday. The Freeze M&D clash there. And then, Collingwood will play 9 home games in front of the Victorian Magpie Army at the MCG, while 2 home matches are scheduled to be played at Marvel. Of course, we can't get out of Marvel. But what I want to talk about before we go through the fixture one by one is our double ups. So we double up on Adelaide, Brisbane, Carlton, Geelong, Hawthorn, and West Coast. We double up on 3 preliminary final teams: Adelaide, Brisbane, Geelong. That is an insane fixture. Now, we also know that because we finished in the top 6, the ladder is split into 3s when they're doing the fixture. Top 6, middle 6, bottom 6. You play against 3 to 4 teams in the top 6, 1 to 2 in the middle 6, and 1 to 2 in or 1 in the bottom 6, right? So our bottom 6 team is West Coast. We finally get them twice. First time we've been playing, we'll play them at the MCG for a few years. I think 2021 was the last time we played the Eagles at the MCG. And that game, I just quickly had to check, was a COVID game. So there was no one there at all. So that is a throwback and a half. We double up on just Carlton, who are probably going to finish in the bottom 6 again, you would think. But I think this is a really hard draw just looking at it from the surface level. Then you look at Fox Footy and Fox Sports and all this stuff. They've got us as the 3rd hardest draw based on percentages of teams this year and who we double up on. They've got Geelong at 1st, Gold Coast at 2nd, and us at 3rd, which is insane to say the least. But I do want to say, playing devil's advocate, I understand. I kind of get it because we did make a prelim. We did finish in that top 6. But playing 3 of the 4 preliminary final teams because we're the fourth and we can't play ourselves. I think that's a bit harsh. Maybe two, and then two from the rest of the eight, and then, sort out the rest of it. So, if you want to be the best, you got to beat the best. And this is going to be a very telling fixture. But now let's go into round by round. So like I said, we start off with St Kilda in opening round. We've said probably enough about that. And then round one is Adelaide. So we get that grudge match against Adelaide. How can you forget that qualifying final? Absolutely incredible. So this is going to be a huge, huge game, especially in front of a home crowd at the MCG. Probably you're looking at 80 plus, I would think. 80. Yeah, Adelaide, there are a few Adelaide fans. I reckon 80 plus, and this is the first time that we're doubling. So, and this will be one of the two times that we do play the Crows. Round two, we've got a bye. I saw somewhere today, I think Dan Does Footy posted it, that 36% of the season has a bye round, or a team having a bye in a round, which is ridiculous. I hate that so much. But then we don't have to travel too far because one of our main Marvel games, our home Marvel games, is against the Giants. Now, I really love this. I love playing Marvel games as if we're the home team against teams that don't typically pack out stadiums. So you're looking at West Coast or a Fremantle or something like this, and Gold Coast or Giants is a perfect example. So we do get the Giants there. So that's round three. Then we make our first interstate trip. That's to the Gabba for Thursday night footy. That's for Easter Thursday. It's become an annual fixture now. And this, going up against the back-to-back premiers, lots of bad blood there just in regards to the prelim. So we have to wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 weeks into the season before we can exact a little bit of revenge. I don't know how much revenge you can get on a team that's won the premiership back-to-back. So, it is what it is. And then we get Gather Round. So a Friday night at Gather Round, Adelaide Oval against the Dockers. I love Gather Round so much. And of course, we're going to get Adelaide Oval. I would love to have played maybe at Norwood or something like that. But again, because we draw a crowd, they're not going to put us in those stadiums or in those grounds. I will get to a Norwood game, or even, are they doing one in the Barossa again? I think they are. So I want to get there as well. The one of two clashes against Carlton the next week. So we have a Thursday night game against Carlton. Anzac Day, Saturday, it's Essendon's home game. So, of course, Essendon will be in their predominantly black jersey. Hopefully, we're wearing a white jersey or even white shorts because the jumper clashes are always ridiculous there. But so far, those first few games, pretty hard. Like, St Kilda, they could be good. But then you get Adelaide, Giants, Brisbane, Fremantle. All of those teams are vying for a top 6 position. So that's going to be an interesting start to our season. Gets a little easier with Carlton and Essendon, but then it's one of two times against Hawthorn, and then one or two times against Geelong at the MCG, not at GMHBA Stadium. So we don't have to travel. So Adelaide in round 5, Adelaide Oval. Then we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 weeks until we have to travel to the SCG to take on Charlie Curno's Sydney Swans. So that's a Friday night. I think that's going to be a really, really good game. I been? Oh no, I have been to the SCG once. It was for the prelim, of course. I want to go again. I think that's going to be a fantastic game. So far, so good with all of these games. I don't mind our fixture and where we play these teams. It's just the double ups really did my head in. So now this is that West Coast game at the MCG, first one since 2021. That's at 4:30 on a Saturday. I really like this time. I don't mind the old 4:30 on a Saturday. An away game in Marvel against the Doggies. We're the away team. Finally, I'm all for being the away team at Marvel because Doggies are the home tenant. If we're the home team at Marvel and we're playing the Doggies, that's when I start to lose my mind a little bit. And then we get Melbourne in the Freeze MND clash. That's 3:15 on a Monday. That's just the typical time and typical day for that. Then we get another bye in round 14, and thus concludes our byes before the last game in this fixture that's been that's got a date and time. That's against Port Adelaide on a Saturday night. So you can see lots of Saturday and Friday night games, couple of Thursday games peppered in. So before we look at the rest of the fixture, I do want to make mention that Anzac Day could be the day, could be the game, sorry, that Scott Pendlebury, if he is to play all the other games previously, could equal Boomer Harvey's all-time VFL AFL games record, which is huge. So you would think that he would break the record either. I think they're going to aim for this Collingwood Hawthorn game. I know it's a Thursday night and it's a Thursday night. What can you do about it? But I think to maximize attendance, it will be a home game. I don't see him wasting it against Geelong. You want it to be a home game so you have more of the Magpie army out there. But in saying that, because Hawthorn are an MCG tenant, there will be fans and stuff that probably miss out on some of the tickets. So make sure you've got your memberships and all that sort of jazz. But that's really exciting. I don't think they're going to rest him for any of these games. If he's good to go, they're going to play him through, because I can't see another game where you would want him to break that record when we're the home team. It'll be that one. You don't want to do it against the Eagles, or unless you want to, the only reason why you would do it against the Eagles is you want that game to be a win. Now, I know that's counting my chickens before they hatch. It could be a banana peel sort of game. But if you want to be 90% guaranteed a win for his record-breaking game, you could do it on a Saturday afternoon at the MCG. That would mean you would have to rest him for a couple of games here and there previously, but that could be another one that they sort of pencil in. And then you sort of look through. Now we're going to go through round 16 for the rest of the season. No dates or times here. Collingwood, Richmond, and then we go up to People's First Stadium to take on the Suns. We all know what happened there last time. I don't have to say it again. We get the second Marvel game as us as the home team is against the Marvel tenant at North Melbourne. They always seem to play super well against us, especially at Marvel. Now, what I like about our fixture, which is I think how every fixture should be, is we play against every single team before we start doubling up on teams. Now, everything that's coming down now, right, from round 19 onwards, is literally all just double ups. We don't have to wait till round 22 to play the Eagles again for the first time, or round 20 to play Richmond, and we've already played Geelong and Brisbane. Everything from round 19 onwards is literally double ups. So this is what our run home to the finals or to the wild card looks like. Carlton at the MCG, Adelaide Crows at Adelaide Oval. So that qualifying final rematch at their home ground. We already have it earlier in the season, but at our home ground. Then we go back down to the MCG to take on the Cats. Then we go up to Perth to take on the Eagles at Optus Stadium. Back down to finish the MCG against Hawthorn and Brisbane. Now that run home, these 4 games, actually those 5 games, diabolical. Diabolical only because we go to Adelaide Oval to take on the Crows, who are going to be heaps good. Then Geelong, who just came off a losing premiership, and then the Eagles. That's just the travel up and back, and then Hawthorn, and then Brisbane. Hawthorn just always roll us, and then you get the premiers in the last game of the round. It is, like I said, absolutely a diabolical end to the season. I don't think we have any respite, sort of looking at it, where we have a couple of easier fixtures going through. I think the only things that I can kind of see are these two here, Carlton and Essendon. So round 6 and round 7. And then, even these ones are hard. Richmond and North, but they're sandwiched in between a trip to Gold Coast. So I think what I like about this fixture is that it's evenly sort of distributed with our away games, with our home games, and I sort of really like that. Lots of travel towards the end of the season, but that's okay. I don't mind that at all. But I do like that we play every single team before we play our double ups. I just think that it all should be like that. There has to be some sort of formula where you can do that. But I think this is a good prototype, and we're the only team to have done that. What I don't like about this fixture is just our double ups, and it's that run home. I think that run home is and I say it again, literally diabolical. It's the third hardest fixture for a reason. But again, you need to be the best. To be the best, you need to beat the best. And next season is going to be really, really hard. Like, you look at this season and 9, maybe 10, if you want to include the Swans, were sort of in contention. The other teams were thereabouts, but St Kilda are going to get better. Richmond will improve a little bit. Carlton might drop off. North might improve a little bit. Port Adelaide will definitely improve. Melbourne, they're the biggest ones. Are they going to improve? Or are they going to fall? So I see a lot of these teams improving, and I'll do my ladder prediction a little bit later on in a couple of weeks. But it's going to be pretty hard to have most of these teams in some sort of position. Like, it's going to be absolutely wild. But looking at this fixture, I think I rate it, if you include the double ups, I'd probably give it a 7 out of 10. I just think doubling up against 3 preliminary finalists is very, very harsh on us. But again, we're the primetime pies. That they want us, they need us to make that money. And unfortunately, it just is what it is. But I don't hate the fixture. That's the most important thing. I don't hate the fixture. This year's fixture was absolutely cooked. I really hated this year's fixture, but I don't mind this. It's just a matter of, you know, are we going to rest players? What's it going to look like? Did we take any learnings from this season resting players into next season? Because like I said earlier, there's no respite in any of these games. It just goes bang, 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 maybe 1 week rest, bang, 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 1 week rest. But I think it gives us good momentum leading into finals, if we are to make finals, which I think we are, if we are to make finals next season. But those are my thoughts on the fixture. Let me know your thoughts down below on the fixture. Do you like it? Do you hate it? What do you rate it? Let me know down below. But until then, like, comment, subscribe, tell your family, tell your friends, tell your pets. And until next time, double shackers. I'll swoop you later.